All right, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Repetitions and Routine, day number 10. We are doing supersets today. So we're going to set the timer for 2 minutes, and we're going to see how many repetitions we can complete of our one exercise in that 2-minute time frame. So if you would like to keep track and see how many repetitions you can get today compared to 2 weeks from now when we repeat this session, grab a piece of paper or a whiteboard and keep track of your number. I am probably not going to worry about counting just because, as we all know, if I try to talk about anything else, form or other things along the way, my counting pretty much lies in shambles. So I'm going to just be watching our time for us, talking about form and enjoying the journey with you. So if you want to count. If you don't want to and you just want to see how you feel in the 2 minutes and maybe see how you feel in the 2 minutes in 2 weeks, go for that. Alrighty, so we are going to start with a little warm-up. Start at the back of your mat. Let's curl our toes under and just sit back on our haunches. Take your arms way up overhead and then pull yourself to the right and the left. So grab your opposite arm, pull your left arm over with your right hand, and then your right arm over with your left hand. Contract deep into the belly. We are going to be using for equipment only a kettlebell, and a box. So if you do not have a kettlebell, use a dumbbell. Grab your hands behind your back, bring your forehead all the way to your mat, and bring your arms up over your head. And then sit back. We'll go into our child's pose. So we'll be using a kettlebell for squats and for kettlebell swings. I'm going to just stick with my 35-pound kettlebell for today. And then your box you're going to use for box jumps. If you do not jump, you can do walk-ups. So walk up, walk down, walk up, walk down for 2 minutes. If you do not have a box, come to your hands and knees. We'll go through our cat-cow. You can do jump squats or squats. Tuck and roll. Inhale, push your chest forward. Exhale and round. Go ahead and neutralize your spine, shoulders over the wrists. Let your hips hinge to the left and the right. Get some nice stretch through those abductors, the sides of your hips. Even still from Tuesday, I am feeling those little abductors, upper outer side of those glutes that we got. All right, bring your right leg forward, just lunge in. I'm going to have us bring it all the way back, then switch to the other side. So a little bit of back and forth today. So like I said, we have 2 minutes. You take as many breaks as you need. So this is about staying healthy, staying strong, staying within your healthy range and pace and weight and load, and doing as many as you feel comfortable with in the 2-minute amount of time. All right, last time on this side. And go ahead and push up into your downward facing dog. Nice big spread, open fingertips, drive your hips up and back. So some of us are going to want to go a little bit heavier on whatever exercise we have that will be weighted, and you'll be a little slower. Some of us may want to go lighter or even body weight, and we'll go faster. So that's great. You're here for your own personal record and your own check-in, your own data. Walk your hands back to your feet, sit low into a squat. So we'll have our 2 minutes of work, and we're going to have a 1-minute transition time. So especially if we're working for the entire 2 minutes, it's very beneficial to take that 1 minute to gear up for the next round instead of pushing too fast straight into it. All right, here we go. So we're going to start off with goblet squats. If you prefer a sumo squat holding your weight low, that's totally fine. We are going to be going back to sumo squats on day 11, so be ready for that. But I do know that sometimes it can be a lot, especially for 2 minutes, and depending on what kind of amount of weight that you're holding to hit up goblet squats. But remember that the more that you develop your upper body strength, your back, and your core, then holding that weight up high is going to help develop that strength and also keep pushing it and progressing you there. So I would ask you to challenge yourself and hold your weight up high and see how it goes. All right, so feet just outside your hips, belly nice and strong. Go ahead and get your weight if you would like. I'm going to start our timer in 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring that weight up. You find your pace that works for you. Make sure you drive up through those heels. Get that chest nice and tall. Getting deep into the core. Squats are obviously very, very much a leg exercise, but there's a lot of other things going on that you can develop as well. Upper back, core, even those arms, supporting the weight up high here on your chest. Dig into those reps, each one at a time. We just passed 1 minute. Keep the chest really lifted. Flex into the back, flex into the core. You've got it. Stay with it. Sink into it. 24 seconds to go. Wrap those muscles. Stay strong through those thighs. Get your glutes super involved. 5 seconds. Time. All right. Lie on the ground a quick sec. We have 1 minute, remember, to break and transition. So cross your right ankle over your left knee, interlace your hands behind the thigh, and pull in. Our next exercise is a 2-minute held plank. Other side, that figure 4, unless something else sounds better to you. All right, let's go ahead and flip over. 12 seconds until we're in that plank. If you need to take breaks, take breaks. If you do not plank, you're going to do a bird dog for 2 minutes. 3, 2, and go. Make little adjustments that you need at the get-go to get yourself set in, but then try to hold that position in place. Figure out how to put most of the work into the core. Figure out how to grab through the pelvic floor, tuck and tighten through the front of the belly, tuck and tighten through the glutes, keeping the hips in line with the shoulders. Long sets of time like this really give you time to get connected to the body. So what we want to do, super healthy. Whew. 34 seconds to go. Stay strong through that abdomen. Wrap all the way around. Tuck under that rib cage. 7 seconds. Time. Whew. All right. Maybe a little puppy dog pose here. So hips stay up instead of back on your heels, stretching through those shoulders and arms. If you feel like plank gets a lot into the shoulders, just give it some time and you will eventually, definitely, be getting into that core more. So the more that you develop the core, the more that it will take the work. All right, box jumps are next. We have 25 seconds. I'm going to choose a height that I think I can get a good amount done, but I will definitely need some breaks, pretty sure. I'm going to just go one at a time. You can jump off or walk off. Remember, you can do jump squats as an alternate or step ups. Here we go. And get your whole foot on the box as much as possible. You got it. $1:15 to go. Keeping that core active. Support the impact. Make sure your thighs are connecting. Thirty seconds left. Time. Didn't need a break. All right. I definitely will need a break on the next one. Push-ups. Push-ups, dead bugs, and kettlebell swings. Take a little stretch here. Grab through that back, maybe a little downward facing dog. And then I'm going to give my arms a little break. Remember, you can push up on the wall or grab a band, set it on an anchor point, and do a chest press from there or a chest press from the ground. 3 seconds and go. If you need to hit your knees, that's fine. I'm asked a lot what's better, knees for more range or toes with less. I think toes are better. You'll get going deeper and deeper as you get stronger and stronger. But if you get to the point you feel like you have no range at all and you want to switch to knees, that's totally fine. Find your range, find your rhythm. They don't need to be fast. They don't need to be slow. but your core must stay strong. 1 minute left. Think about pressing that floor away from you. If you need challenge, it's actually tougher to slow down and go lower. Lots lower. Take little pauses if you need at the bottom of the push. Make sure you're not losing your core flexion. Time. All right. Good work, good work. Let's lie on our back a sec. Let's bring those arms behind. Take a little glute bridge maybe. I know some of our 2-minute supersets we've had before, a lot more cardiovascular. This one's so far been fun. Some cardio, and then a little bit of a core setback, strength challenge, muscle time under tension. It's all good. Shaking it up is good. Body becomes set in. Okay, dead bugs. Push your low back into the ground. Extend and flex back. This is awesome to be here for a time and a long time. I think it'll help us just slow down in these dead bugs and find our flexions, setting those muscles under tension. Strong and set. Deep, deep flexions through that abdomen. Check in with your back connection toward the ground. For this exercise, I find that that's such a good check-in, good little self-note whether or not we're contracted, strong enough through that core. The rate of burn is up to you. Flex into the back. Tighten through the arms, your biceps and triceps. But again, focus that core. Perfect, perfect. Time. Hug your knees. Extend your right leg long. Hug that left knee in. Switch to the other side. And then back. Left knee in, right leg long. And then the other way. Right knee in, left leg long. Okay, kettlebell swings coming at us. So, with your swing, as an alternate, I know sometimes some of us don't do well with swinging, so you can switch to a deadlift, or you can go to single leg deadlifts, or just hold a glute bridge. That's going to help build that opening in the hip flexors, flexion through the glutes. Get ready. Otherwise, grab deep into the core. You're going to sit back on your heels, and then you're going to just swing up using momentum. You want to charge to feel like a solid line of energy that locks into place at the top of your swing. Make sure you're hinging more than squatting. And your thighs, the thrust, is what's pushing the bell forward. Flat back, super flexed core, and those glutes and hamstrings are where you really feel the flexion and the thrust. That's where the momentum is coming from to get the bell up. 43 seconds to go. Time. All right. So, push-ups. That's where I struggled the most today. Can figure out where we need to put more weight on. If I would have been holding the 44, I know I would have needed a lot more breaks, or a couple of breaks at least. All right, we're going to do a little bit of mobility and stretch. That's it for our supersets for today. So we're going to start with bringing our left leg forward. Bring your right leg behind you at a small angle. So I want you a little bit more spread open than we do with our pyramid hinge. Okay, you're going to bring your arms out wide, and your hips are going to be facing straight ahead to the side, as opposed to straight ahead from your hips, right? So open the hips. You're going to hinge from your oblique. So reach first forward, like you're reaching forward to touch something, but somebody's pulling this hand back. Then you tip your arms, open the chest, slide your shoulder blades down, check in with the core. Fantastic job. Rotate your right arm down, and we're going to square off and frame the foot. So now we do want our shoulders and hips squaring off to the front of the mat instead of the side of the mat. And your hamstring should be majorly pulling right here. Nice, solid stretch through that hamstring. Keep rotating your back hip forward and your front hip back. All right, you can use a box or a wall or a bench or a weight to bring the floor up to you, or you can keep your hands on the floor, and we're going to go into a standing split, okay? So plant that back foot down. My back leg feels so heavy right now. That's good. And then let the chest pull toward the leg. Your split may not look like mine. That's totally fine. You can use, like I said, a box or a bench, and just try to get your your chest to drop so you feel a little more stretch through that hamstring. All right, bring your leg back down, and we're going to go into our hip flexor stretch. So keep your knee off the ground for me. Let your hip drop toward the ground. Maybe bounce a little bit. Sometimes that helps get that range. Plant onto your right hand. Rotate your chest towards your left thigh, and then lift that left arm up. All right, drop your back knee. Just a quick little hamstring grab again. We got it from the top, so we won't hang here long. And then fold your leg across. We're going to hit that pigeon. Square the hips. Make sure that your pelvis is facing the ground. So your back leg is going to want to rise up. That hip is going to want to pull up away from the ground. And I want you to make sure that you're facing the ground. All right, press into the hands. Bring your left leg back. We're going to walk our hands all the way back to our feet. Belly hold strong. Come all the way up. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now the right leg's forward. Bring your left heel to line up with your right heel. You're going to square your hips to the long side of your mat. Bring your arms out wide. Grip in through the core. Tuck the hips under. Reach your arm forward while pulling the hips back. And then when you're as far as you can go, just windmill those arms. Drop toward the ground. Stay open with your chest. Slide the shoulder blades down. Make sure you have space between your ears and shoulders, so rotate that shoulder head back away from the ear. Now bring your left hand down and your right hand outside your right foot and square your hips off toward the front of the mat. So you're pulling your left hip forward, your right hip back. Such a good way to get a good full long hamstring stretch. All right, and then you can find balance and support through the floor, through a block or a weight, or a couch or bench or chair, something next to you, and then just drop your chest as much as you can toward your right thigh. Lift your left leg as high as possible. So the goal here is to feel that stretch on the right hamstring. All right, bend into that right knee. Take the left leg back. So you're in your runner's lunge. Let that back hip drop toward the ground. Bounce a little if you'd like. Plant into your left hand, and we're going to rotate the chest toward the right thigh. Again, spiral that shoulder head back away from the shoulder. Good stretch for the back. Okay, drop onto the back knee. Hinge your hips back, toe comes up in the front. Reach the chest towards your toes. And then we're going to fold that foot across and hit our pigeon. Flex through that front leg. Remember, we want to square off the pelvis. All right, we've made it through our first 2 weeks of exercises, workouts, of sessions. So starting on Monday, day 11, we're going to repeat these 2 weeks. So don't worry if you missed one of the days in the last couple of weeks. But if you did make them, it will be fun to revisit and see how you've progressed. I'll be redoing the workouts with you as well, so it's not like I'm just replaying the video. So it'll be a nice check-in for all of us. All right, plant into those hands. Drive your hips up and back, so bring that right leg back. Downward facing dog. Push those heels to the ground. Check in here. How are you doing with your down dog? Once your core is strong, so make sure you're not overarching the back. Can you get your ears back inside your elbows? And can you get your legs straight? And can you get your booty super high up in the air? Hollow out your armpits, relax between neck and shoulders. And then keeping the hips as stable as possible so they're not rocking side to side, hopefully. Walk your hands back to your toes. Hang over the legs. Squat super deep down into a low squat. Maybe you can get your heels to sit on the ground. Otherwise, maybe your calves are tight. All right, fantastic job. I will see you on Monday. Have a good one.